Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 239 of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media and Champ in the house. That's right, for the first time since getting his ring, we have Guardians catcher Austin Hedges with us. Where is that bad boy?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you right now, Rosie. It's just so much bling in my ear right now.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Yes. Oh my God, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Isn't it perfect? You want to see the best part?
Please.
All right, ready? This is for everybody.
Wow. That is freaking awesome, dude. Did you find out who came up with the idea for Road? Because it was Rays, Orioles, Astros, Diamondbacks using each of their logos. Who came up with that? Whoever that is, maybe should start running the organization.
They're genius. I mean, it was. What are the odds like that? I mean, first of all, what are the odds you don't lose a game on the road? Second of all, what are the odds that those team names spell out road? Not the cities, like specifically the team names in that order. I mean, I don't know. I'll just be wearing this like this for this whole episode, okay?
Please do. Actually, can you put it around your neck?
It might fit.
Yeah. How much? We're taping this on a Tuesday, so you just got this Monday when the Guardians visited Texas. I'm curious. Like, did you wake up a couple times in the middle of the night and just kind of look at it?
Not in the middle of the night, but I couldn't take it off yesterday. When I got back, I was just like, it's surreal, man. It's like, it's wild to see my name on this thing. And, yesterday was pretty special. It was cool because obviously, like, being in Texas with all my boys there, but all my boys in Cleveland, like the amount of support that I got from them, like every one of those guys was top step in our dugout. They seemed like they were more excited for me the whole day leading up to it. Just like they're just excited for me, proud of me. And, to be able to share that with so many people I care about. Got my parents were there, my buddies were there. So it was like, it was nice. It was a nice closure to such a beautiful thing that happened last year.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about the emotions, but let's start with this. Everybody's looking at this shot and was like, Jesus, Hedges is the size of Altuve. Holy smokes, man. Those are two big dudes you're in between Chris Young and Bruce Bochy.
I was thinking, it was like, Hedges looks fit right now, doesn't he? Look at that. I mean, like, I know those are two giants, but I was like, hey, it was a good uni day for the kid. I got a little haircut, beard trim. It's looking good out there, Rosie.
You sure were. So the minute you get handed a ring, it is the pinnacle of your professional career. Did you almost feel like crying a little bit? What were the emotions?
It was so weird. Like, I don't know, maybe like half an hour or so leading up to it. And then like, as like each minute went by, like leading up to it, like all the guys were looking at me like, bro, like, are you all right? I was like, I don't know why. Like, I'm so nervous. I was so nervous. Like, it's tough to put into words, like it all coming to fruition. Like, obviously, like, winning it all, like that moment is the moment. But, we're all playing for rings, man. We're all playing like, yeah, the moment is special, but to get the jewelry, get the merchandise is to actually look at it, to see your name on it, to like soak that all in. I mean, it's tough to put into words. It's powerful. I mean, like, I'm just looking at it right now, man, like kind of at a loss for words. It's pretty special. It's pretty special.
There is a great picture of you with mom and dad. What did your parents say to you after you hugged them?
They were just so proud. They're so proud. They're so grateful. They got to be there. I mean, my dad was like, I'm wearing a Rangers jersey today. Okay. I'm like, all right, you can wear a Rangers jersey today, but then tomorrow you got to wear a Guards jersey. Okay. We got to cut the cord at some point. But I mean, it was the memories that we all created together last year, to have it all come to fruition last night, and, them getting to just hold the ring, see it. And, they're a part of the journey for every step of the way since I was a kid, driving me to games, coaching me, helping me. Just, in a way, like it probably means more to them than it does to me. Like, I know that they could not be any more proud, and I'm very blessed to have amazing parents, and it was cool to just share it with them.
You are one of the leaders of a very, very young team in Cleveland. In fact, if I'm thinking through this the right way, I don't believe any of the players have a World Series ring, and I think Vogt's got one from his time in Atlanta. Maybe that's about it. There might be
Carl's got one.
Carl Willis has got one, right, with the Twins back in his day when he was a reliever. But that's it. Was there one or two guys who really kind of fawned over the ring and kind of looked at it and was like, oh my God, this is amazing?
I mean, the funny was like José Ramirez was all about it. I mean, he loved it. He was like, "Can I buy that off you? Can I have it?" He saw number 11. He's like, "We can just switch Hedges to Ramirez," and like he's like, "It can be my ring now." And I was like, buddy, like I'm sure you'd make a pretty generous offer, but I don't think money can buy this thing right here.
Did you run into any old teammates from last year where it was like kind of an extra special moment for you?
I mean, I didn't really get a chance yesterday to catch up with too many guys. Just first game of series, there's so many meetings, so much going on, and as much as yesterday was special to get this ring, I was still preparing to try and beat the Rangers yesterday. So, I thought it was really cool to share it with Robbie Grossman. Him getting his ring yesterday too, and just what a beautiful man he is. I thought it was cool to be able to share that with him, and at least just look over at those guys in their dugout and just acknowledge them for a quick second, because it's we're brothers for life. Forever we'll always be champ brothers together, and just at least being there, having them there was pretty special.
Yeah, well, in 2033, when you're like a 42-year-old catcher now in his 20th big league season, you'll be back for that. And then 2043, when, I don't know where you'll be in life at that point, but you'll be on somebody's coaching staff, if not managing a team. You'll be back for that celebration. And then, 2073, you'll be there as well. So there's a lot to look forward to with all these, reunions.
There sure is. I didn't think about it that way yet. I guess no, I don't really care about the high school reunion, but I'll do the champion reunion any year that they feel like doing it.
Do you get invited to your high school reunion?
I don't know. I don't think I would go.
You don't even know.
I don't know.
Who's your best friend from high school?
Don't have one.
No, come on. You got to have one best friend from high school that you still. Nobody? All your boys are baseball boys?
Moved on, grown up. I'm not a guy that stays in touch. It's impossible to keep a relationship going if you don't stay in touch, and it might come off poorly, but I just have no desire to stay in touch with anybody. Like, I'm kind of like, I'll see you when I see you, and when we see each other, we'll catch up and it'll be great. But like in the meantime, I hope you're doing great and live your life, and I'm going to go live my life. And I just I can't think of anything worse than like a texting relationship. That just sounds miserable to me. So.
Okay. No, well, that's all right. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life at all.
That's okay. Even if you are, I'd tell you to shut up anyways, but it's okay.
Well, my best friend from high school, I talk to him like every other week or so. We don't just text. That's not what we do. We sit there and FaceTime during Cleveland sporting events.
See, I'm busy during those times usually, but I FaceTime too. It's just like I want real life interaction, and otherwise, like, I hope you're doing great. Like, it's no hard feelings. I hope everyone's thriving, having the greatest life ever, and I'm gonna try and do the same myself.
Well, all I can tell you is there's nobody from Jay Sarah who's walking around with a World Series ring today. Yeah, there we go.
You said it.
There we go. Just saying. All right, more of the show coming your way, but first I want to talk about my favorite topic in the world, my pooch Sydney. Love her to death. She's been through so much with us. We rescued her. She's been a part of the family for 11 years. Last year, she had back surgery, and that was right around the time when we made a huge, huge change in her feeding habits, thanks to the farmer's dog. It is food that is developed with vets. It's made fresh from real meat and veggies. It's portioned for your dog. It is delivered right to your door. So we get rid of that kibble. We get rid of that goop in the cans. You give your dog food that they can look up at you and say, Pops, Mom, you're the best ever. It is smart, healthy pet food that you can feel good about feeding your pup, just the little doggies out there that are getting started, or those aging veterans, much like my own beloved Sydney. A fresh diet has been found to have all sorts of health benefits, from a healthier coat and skin to better breath, which is really important because that stuff can get a little nasty, even easier digestion and smaller, better poops. A healthy diet isn't just important for humans, it's important for your four-legged friends as well. The nice thing is, you head on over to thefarmersdog.com. Takes you about 5 minutes to fill out a questionnaire. We're talking about the age and the breed of your dog, how much it normally eats, and how much exercise it gets. So help keep your dog healthy and playing ball with half off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/rose. Plus, you get free shipping, which is a big deal because yesterday Sydney's monthly box got here. That it's not this big; it is this big. So you get that free shipping. That is big time. They come in freezer packets with your dog's name on it. So it says Sydney. She gets excited when we open the box. We stick them in the freezer, and then about 24 hours before you need a new pack, you just put it in the fridge and it thaws out. So once again, head on over to thefarmersdog.com/rose. Go get 50% off, because at the end of the day, you want your dog feeling good, having a belly full of food, looking up at you and saying, Daddy, rah-rah-roo. A few things I want to get to with you today. Number one is we talked about this at the beginning of the year, kind of what your role would be. And I even think that since we somewhat defined it in spring training as a guy who's there to help Bo Naylor become a really good everyday catcher, it's even take a bit of a step back from that, because David Fry, who's been one of the more consistent bats in Cleveland's lineup, has been getting some starts behind the plate. So, there's times where you'll play once a week as a starter. How challenging has that been for you?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely an adjustment. Obviously I love playing. I love being out there and trying to help the team win. But I think I came to the realization a handful of years ago where you don't have to be playing to help a team win. You don't have to be playing to inspire and motivate guys. And so much goes on before, during, and after games. That doesn't have a stat for it. That doesn't have a box score. So I think it's challenged me to take even more pride in that and be like, all right, listen, like if I'm not playing today or tomorrow or the next day, am I just nothing? Can I bring anything to the table? Or like, is there a way I can help the team win? Because that's the only thing that matters. It's really the only thing that matters to me. And one of the reasons we win a lot of ball games, or we're winning a lot of ball games, is because it's all that matters to the boys in this clubhouse. It's not who's doing what kind of stats are you putting up. It's wins and losses. Did we win today? Everyone had a great day. If we lost today, everyone had a terrible day. And we're going to have to flush it and show up tomorrow. And so, I've just started, just each day contemplate more and more on, whose life can I impact? How many lives can I impact today? Can I, who needs it the most? Who needs to be picked up a little bit? Who needs to be maybe humbled a little bit? I just got to bring all the awareness away from myself and onto what's happening, and see if I can just throw out any type of words of wisdom, or, maybe just go work really, really hard. Just maybe people notice just little things that can I inspire somebody today that might make that person a little bit better to help us go win today. So for me, the only thing that matters is wins and losses. And so I've kind of just like defined my role as that. And I feel like if we won, I'm proud of myself for the day. If we lost, I got to do better the next day. And that's regardless if I'm playing or not.
And that's what makes you you. I mean, it's interesting because not that social media is the end all be all, but it is the one place where those of us who are front facing in the world have a chance to interact with just regular people, right? And when the Guardians brought you back, there were some people who were like, well, why the hell is he back? You know, he hits a buck 70 or whatever. And sometimes, not often, but I would hop on there. I was like, you have to understand how clubhouses and locker rooms at the professional level are constructed. And it's not always about punching numbers into a computer to determine a player's worth. With all that being said, who do you talk to when you want to be playing more and it's not happening? Like, how do you handle that?
I mean, it could be anybody, but I mean, wanting to play more is not a conversation to be had with anybody. If I had a real question about it, I got to go talk to Stephen Vogt, and that's a manager player relationship. But otherwise, that's not my job to complain about anything that's going on. Like, if you don't like it, play better. And if the team's winning ball games, like, what are you complaining about, dude? And so for me, like, like our team's rolling. We're in first place. We're beating up a lot of good teams, and I'm not playing a whole lot, but we're winning ball games. So it's like, I got nothing to complain about. It's working. Everything we're doing is kind of how we drew it up so far. And honestly, now we just got to continue to do it for like another 120 games. But I got plenty of guys on the team that they appreciate everything I do so much. So like I feel loved and appreciated every day by all my teammates, all my coaches. So it's not like it has nothing to do with playing time. Like, they lean on me for so many things, and they show their appreciation for I feel like the effort that I try and put in to invest into their lives. And so like I feel that, and they feel what I try and do for them. And the relationship is really beautiful. It's such a good clubhouse, from top to bottom, coaches and staff and players. Just, we see eye to eye, and I think we understand each other and we get each other. And like I said, it has nothing to do with playing. It's the people we have in there. And, if your name's on the lineup card today, we have full belief that you're going to help us win this ball game. And if you're not, you're going to help contribute in some way. And, the guys that don't play every day on our team are doing the same thing. They're top step every single pitch, cheering on their teammates, working hard in the cage on the field to get their name in the lineup a little bit more. But once again, our team only cares about winning, and it really simplifies everything else.
So one of our other co-hosts on the Rose Rotation, just talked to him last week, Miguel Rojas. He wants to keep playing like you, but he also knows that he's much closer to the end than the beginning. He is now not an everyday baseball player. He now is a guy that is helping Mookie Betts transition from the outfield to being an everyday shortstop at this level and taking on. He won't go as far as saying that he's a coach. He said that's not my job. That's somebody else's job, but I'm there to help him get through his daily routine and bounce ideas off of him. Do you find yourself kind of, even if you won't call yourself a coach, taking on characteristics of that so that one day you are ready for it?
Yeah, it's not necessarily so one day I'll be ready for it. It's like people don't necessarily understand what it's like, the difference of words coming from a player, an active player, and a coach or a manager or a staff member. So it's like, I feel like I'm kind of like a translator in a way, where like, I'm not just focused on making sure our players are right. Like, I'm checking in on our coaching staff and everybody. And like, I feel like, we have such a good staff and everybody's on it every day. But if they weren't, like, I feel like I want to be there for them to help them, pick them up when they're having some bad days. And then in doing so, they lean on me to be like, hey, so-and-so, we noticed so-and-so, acting like this or feeling like this, like, he might need some love here. Maybe he like needs to learn how to like handle this thing a little bit differently. And it's just like, and they know, like, if a coach goes up to you and tells you, it's going to be like, first of all, it's a little bit standoffish. Whether you like the guy and you have a good relationship or not, it's still kind of like, whoa, are you talking down to me? Is this equal? Where's this coming from? Whereas if it comes from a player, a peer, an active player that's, going to grind with you every day on the field, it's kind of like, where it's coming from, how much love and respect it's coming from. At least, I mean, I try and make that crystal clear. Like, if I have to get on you for a little bit, like, the only way I can feel comfortable getting on you to help you is because you know that I love and respect you. If you didn't know that, then this could come off poorly, and honestly, it could impact our relationship. Now you're going to take this the wrong way, and that's going to impact you on the field, and then your attitude is going to impact everybody. So I kind of got to be that translator for sometimes when the coaches need to get a message off to either a player or a group of players or the team, and just hear it from a voice of someone that they know, is in it with them, from a player's perspective. And it seems to go a long way that way. And it's been great so far. Just, the communication between coaches and players and kind of me in that kind of in-between role. So far it's going really fluidly, but the thing I'm most aware of is how hard this game is, just given it's every day. Every day is so hard. You're like, I can show up one day and be motivated and intense and rah-rah. And it's like tomorrow, maybe a little bit. And then the next day, maybe a little bit less. And it's like, I can't be rah-rah this guy in game 1 or game 25 and then not in game 75 or game 120. It's like, sorry, all we got's today. And I know you're tired. I know we've played 20 games in a row without an off day. I know you're banged up. I know you're hurt. But sorry, too bad. Like, you got to go be a gangster today. Like, today's all that matters. We have to win today. And that's the way we treat it. It's like, no, we have to win today. Each game is a playoff game. And that's the way we try and go treat it. It's like, how are we going to be ready for the playoffs if we haven't prepared we have 162 playoff games to get ready for the playoffs. It's not like, all right, we'll just cruise through and we'll sneak into the playoffs somehow and then turn it on. It's like, by the time we get to the playoffs, we're going to have 162 games of reps of treating the games the exact same. So when the playoffs comes, it's like, oh, it's another game now because we treat every game the same anyways. And that's really, really hard to do. It's freaking exhausting. And I get exhausted not playing, trying to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be playing to be exhausted. And so, like, that's the stuff that I can be aware of and, just throw a couple pick-me-ups out there to guys. So it's like, hey, like, I know you're tired, but, like, we'll take tomorrow off, but not today. Tomorrow we'll take off. Then when tomorrow shows up, hey, we'll take tomorrow off, but not today. Not today. We don't take today off. Today we're going to be gangsters. Tomorrow we'll take it off. And then we're obviously not going to take tomorrow off, but it's just a way to think about it.
All right, more of the show is coming your way, but first I want to talk to you a little bit about the baseball card game, which has changed in the decade since I was just a young little whippersnapper. Back then, you'd have these boring pieces of paper. You'd stick them in your bike spokes. You'd ride around with your buddies, and you'd hear that clicking, clicking, clicking. Well, these days, you can imagine owning a piece of baseball that was actually used in the 2017 MLB All-Star Game and signed by the Yankee captain himself, Aaron Judge. Well, there's only one card like it, and you can have a chance to find this 1/1 piece of history in the Arena Club Slab Packs. In their special drop, it is coming your way on June 4th. Arena Club Slab Packs, they feature rare historic sports cards. All of them are graded and certified, so there's no need to worry if you're going to have damage or there might be a fake. That stuff does not happen. So check out arenaclub.com, poke around at the marketplace, see what baseball card collecting is all about these days. Personally, I can't wait to see the special slab pack drop on June 4th, and neither can my buddy Trevor Plouffe, who loves this sort of thing. It's going to be loaded with one-of-a-kind baseball relics and autographs that belong in Cooperstown, but we can actually own them ourselves. Right now, you can get 10% off your first purchase by going to arenaclub.com/rose. That is a crazy offer. Think of it. 10% off a $400 slab pack. You are saving $40 right there. Anyway, that is arenaclub.com/rose. 10% off your first purchase. Enjoy the experience. How much does it help, in your opinion, that one of those guys who is truly gangster on that team is the best player in José Ramirez? Because there's nobody that plays harder than him. Like, he just, if anything, he's got to throttle it back sometimes.
I mean, I feel like I pointed out every day to a certain extent where it's like, I mean, this guy might be the actual best player in the world because of like the things that, once again, people don't really notice. It's like, oh, well, he doesn't have as high of an OPS as Shohei Ohtani or homers like this, but it's like, you saw the game yesterday. Like, yesterday's a perfect José Ramirez day. First of all, you got a hit taken away from him in the first. It was probably a hit. Otherwise, he's 3 for 3, 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, 4 RBIs, 2 or 3 runs scored. Not to mention Gold Glove caliber defense. It's like, I mean, that is, there's not many guys, not really any guys impacting the game like that on a daily basis. And I mean, when you got a guy like that, like at times too, like he's banged up, he deals with injuries, he's playing every single day. And he said, I don't care. Like, here's a funny story about how gangster José Ramirez is. Mother's Day, we're up 7-0 on the White Sox. I think it's the top of the 9th. Our bench coach comes up and he's like, hey, Hedgey, if José doesn't want his last at bat, you want to go hit a homer for your mom? And I was like, absolutely, let's go. So I take like my BP jacket off. Like, as I'm taking it off, they ask, José, do you want your last at bat? Of course José wants his last at bat. I'm like, nah, all right. Like, I'll just go sit down and cheer you on. But it's like, the game is pretty much out of hand. He's been playing every day, and he's like, no, I want that at bat. I want to play every day. I want every single at bat. And I mean, that says everything about him to me. Like, so many guys don't want that at bat. They're like, I'm good for the day. I'm done. He's like, no, I want every one. Every single game. I want every at bat. I don't care what the score is. And I'm like, dude, that's why you're the best.
He could have given you an at bat on Mother's Day. Would have been nice.
He could have. It would have been nice, but it's like, nice guys finish last, bro.
So your homer this year came against the Halos, and I was watching it. I was at a Kentucky Derby party at Santa Anita Raceway, and I was like, Hedgey just went deep, and I'm smiling. I'm a couple mint juleps in, and I see them cut away to you running around the bases, and you acted like you just want to look at this. You're an animal. What was it with that particular swing? Was it something in particular?
Well, it was we just got our butts kicked on the road for a while, and then we showed up at back home and we lost. We got our butts kicked by the Angels in the first game. And, I got to start the next day, and, we hadn't really been swinging it, and, just put the team in the lead, to help offensively. That's what I was so fired up about. I was really just trying to get the boys fired up. It was like, it had been a pretty rough 7 games or so. And it's like, all right, no, it starts now. This is where it changes. We're done with this. Like, if I can freaking take this guy deep, you guys can take this guy deep. Let's go. Let's turn it up a little bit.
I was so pissed at the broadcast. I know it's hard to broadcast games. Believe me, I've been working them forever. But they just cut away when it looked like they were kind of giving you the silent treatment and kind of not. Was that what happened?
No,
and then they all jumped on you?
It was full silent treatment. It was so funny because, to my last point, I was trying to fire the boys up. And of course they're fired up. But then I come to the dugout and I didn't realize what was happening. I'm just ready to explode full Josh Naylor. I'm going to throw my helmet. And then I'm like, oh God, all right. Oh man. But I deserve it. I think I talk enough shit to those guys where they're probably getting me back a little bit.
Yeah. Look at him. Freeman and Fry can't even hold in the smiles. They can't even play the role. They're so happy for you.
Right.
I love it.
Oh, those guys are the best.
All right. City Connect jerseys came out. What was the big talk in the clubhouse about them?
Everybody likes them. I feel like they should just be our uniforms. I feel like we should just mix it up a little bit. Our uniforms are they're so basic. They're just, it says Guardians and it says Cleveland. It's white and it's gray. Got a red, got a blue. It's we can be better. And these City Connects are clean. We should have that type of something like that for every day. I don't know, maybe have a cream home. Maybe maybe do a CLE for one of the jerseys. I don't know. Just mix it up a little bit. Give us we got a fun, young, exciting team, and the world loves uniforms, right? You remember when the Oregon Ducks basically started the whole trend.
Yep.
Everyone wanted to go to that school, not just for any reason other than they wanted cool uniforms. They wanted cool stuff. What do fans want? They want cool stuff. You don't want to just you want to go buy a gray Guardians jersey? I don't think so. I don't think many people really really want it that bad. But if you get something like this, now this is different. This is stepping the game up. So I'm pumped for the guys that designed this. I think they did a great job, and I think we can maybe start raising the bar on Guardians uniforms now.
Yeah, by the time this show comes out, you will have already worn them at home this coming weekend. So it sounds like it's going to be more than just every home Friday game. It sounds like you guys are making a push to make this a more permanent part of the rotation, which I like it if they listen to you.
I hope they do. I think like that's my point. Like I think they listen to me a little bit, so I think I'm gonna just talk a little shit, maybe get some things going. But we need to. I think it seemed like a lot of the teams last year that got some of theirs were wearing them often. It wasn't just like once a week. So hopefully they just allow us. I mean, like who cares? Like what would be so wrong with wearing it most of the home games and then selling a bunch of them? Isn't that what it's all about, anyways? Is the only reason City connects to sell jerseys? Is that the reason, Chris?
Yes, but okay. I don't think they have done an exceptional job in that area.
That is fact.
No, what I'm saying is yes, but I don't think they've done an exceptional job in creating something that is marketable for most of the teams. Like I thought Miami, I think they were the first one. I like those. I like the red with like the aqua blue helmets and hats and stuff. I thought they did a good job. I think the White Sox with the black pinstripe is pretty clean. I like that. The Dodgers were horrible. Like they look like pajamas. Some people don't love San Diego because they think those should be in Miami, but I like San Diego's. Like okay. So we got Jazz. That's nice. He just got up from a nap. That's why it looks like that. And yeah, I don't know. I like those jerseys. I think those are pretty good.
I feel like I like most of them. I think
you do, huh?
I like most of them. I don't know. I'm also not that picky. Like I just want it to just not be basic. Like just give me a pinstripe. Give me anything other than a blank canvas with your team name on it. Like that's all. That's really all that it is. That's all people want. Nobody wants a blank canvas with the team name on it. They want just a little sex appeal, just a little bit, right? And like I feel like most teams, the City connects. There's a little sex appeal, whether it's too much, like err on the side of too much, and then like make another one. Like I feel like the NBA, like these guys come out with new City connects every year. It's like come out with every year. It shouldn't just be like some teams get it. There should be all kinds of City connects, road City connects. I don't know, like. The world wants fun uniforms. I mean, there's a reason they allowed us to wear whatever cleats we want now. Guys can wear whatever cleats they want. It used to be it had to be team colors or you got fined. It's like, what do people want to see? What do fans want to see? They want to see custom batting gloves. They want to see custom cleats. I mean, I think they should let us paint our bats whatever color we want. I think people, the Players Weekend bats, I saw Gunnar Henderson had that like lightsaber bat. Use that in the game. You're telling me that would not like fans, we want to make, it's all about money. Remember that, right? It's only ever about money. And what do people that spend the money to watch baseball want? They want to see a lightsaber in your hand, not a basic wood bat. Right?
It's a great call.
And then you'll probably go want to buy one. Do you know
right.
anybody that wants to go buy a blank tan baseball bat? No. But if it looks like freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsaber, you're telling me you're not going to be able to market that? Make wiffle ball bat versions of it? Like everyone like gets their own bat. Like this is what José Ramirez swings. This is what Josh Naylor swings. He paints it this way. It's like do that all the time. I don't know. It's just money. Just thought.
Hey, listen. With as much money as being spent on travel ball and things of that nature, yeah, you as somebody who just finished having to pay for cleats and bats and mitts and everything else, like yeah, you want your kid to love it. Like if they're going to use a bat for the next 2 years and it looks like a number 2 pencil, more power to them if they dig it and everyone wants to use it. Like that's fun. Like God forbid we make the sport fun for kids.
Well, it finally feels like baseball season, and yeah, it's a little early to start looking at the standings and scoreboard watching, but it's never too early to get in on all of today's action at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and select your squad and place your first bet. It's that simple. New to DraftKings? New customers get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500. Just deposit at least $5 and you'll get a bonus bet back equal to your first bet if it doesn't hit. So download DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code ROSE. That's promo code ROSE only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
And while we're here, can I just say this? I don't know what it was like when you were playing high school at a really good baseball high school. Stop bunting. Stop bunting in high school. You are killing the spirit of your players. There's
Yep.
not one kid who said at the end of the day, boy, I had a hell of a time bunting 2 out of the 4 times that I was up. Stop thinking that you're smarter than everybody else. Every high school coach, I'm talking to you, including the ones who are highly successful, because at the end of the day, kids want to swing a bat. They want to frickin' swing a bat. Let them do it. Let them see if they can get a hit and help your team. Like, I understand there's certain times kid hits a double in a tie game in the bottom of the 7th, and you're at the bottom of the lineup, and it's time for a kid to bunt him to third. Fine. I'm with you. Please stop the rest of the shenanigans. It sucks.
Or just never bunt them. Or just still be like, hey, what is this about? Let's just be real. High school, college, minor leagues, just anything but the big leagues. What is it about? It's about developing that kid to live his dream. And his dream is not to play high school baseball, college baseball, or minor league baseball. If his dream isn't to be a big leaguer, then that kid's allowed to bunt. But he has to say so. Hey, just so you know, I'm just here to have fun. If you're here to have fun, you get to bunt. But if you actually like want to like develop and like try and like, I don't know, everybody's playing with the same dream. I know plenty of guys that were terrible. Shane Bieber was a terrible high school baseball player. He didn't make varsity till his senior year. Look at him now. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be starting on varsity as a freshman to be a big leaguer. Not just be a big leaguer, to be a great big leaguer. You know, Shane wasn't getting offers from all these schools. Had to go to Santa Barbara and then got drafted, and now he's Shane Bieber. It's like everybody's capable of that. And I think every single level from high school to college to minor leagues, if the coach's goal is to not develop each individual player, they're selfish. And it's their ego, and they want to win. And don't get me wrong, I love winning, but this is about the kids. It's about each individual kid and making them better. And you know what you got to be able to do in baseball? You got to be able to do the hardest thing, and that's hit. You got to be able to hit. Give them the freaking chance to hit. And like you said, in a random situation, yeah, you can bunt every now and then. But it's like, go hit. There's no signs. Go hit. Go hit. Go hit and play. Go play and have fun doing it. And when you fail, learn from it. And the next time you'll be better. And you fail again, learn from it again. And then you'll be better. But develop and get your ego out of the way that you're got to go win what? What are you trying to win? Like, you're trying to win for you. That's what most of these guys want. These guys are not developing guys the right way. They want to win for themselves. They're not winning for the players. The players want to win. And honestly, the players will just win if they're allowed to. And they'll have fun doing it. But if they are allowed to do it on their terms, they don't want to sack bunt guys over to win a game. Like, ooh, cool, way to go. Like, no, they want to drive the run in. And if they don't, they feel good. Great. Guess what? That kid just learned a great lesson. You know what it is? That when you fail, you're still alive and you still get to do what you want in the world. Like, it's not the end of the world. But the only way you get to learn to do that is by freaking sucking and failing and then keeping on sucking. Not realizing, oh, I sucked today. Like, life's going to throw me a bone tomorrow. No, probably not. It's probably going to screw you over again. And guess what? You're going to respond again. And then you're going to fail again. And then you're going to have just a glimpse of success. And that's all you need. That's all you need, because that's enough. Because you did it. You got through it. But you got to be allowed to. So I love your take right here. I think that's spot on, Rosie.
Yeah. Well, so Brady's team, we lost in the round of 16 in the playoffs. So that's it. Like, his career just ended like that. And it was over. And he didn't start the game because he was the first guy out of the bullpen that day. So when he came in and then he got his at bat and he didn't get through his second inning of work and he walked off, and we were down 6-0 in the middle of the game at that point. And barring a monumental comeback, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is it. I videoed him walking off the mound a little bit and stuff. And I was like, oh, because, you know, like, he's been playing since he was 4 years old. Like, it's so much of what we did. We weren't one of those families where, like, well, we got to go to this showcase and stuff like that. That's not who he was. That's not the type of player he wanted to be. He just wanted to have a great time with his dudes. And he and I drove home at the together, just the two of us afterward. And I said, how you doing? He's like, I'm good with it. Like, I'm tired. My arm is tired. because did I want to win today? Absolutely. I wanted to win. And I love this season because I just got to hang out with my guys. Like I thought about you because it sounded so much like you, minus the high energy because he's kind of like this. But he was just like, yeah, it's good. I'm good with it. I'm done. And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
I hope everybody has that. Like, you don't know when your time's going to come. Like, one day I'm going to get a tap on my shoulder and it's like, bud, you're done. That's it. Like, we don't need you anymore. And if I can have that type of reaction, that type of response, like, be proud of myself, be proud of like how I went about it. Like, that's all. That's it. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Nothing. The rest is just not in our control. We want it to be, but just it's not reality. And I think that's a very, very mature response. So
yeah,
hats off to Brady and you guys as parents. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was very proud of him. Very proud of him. I was sad because there's like when I'm done with my work in the morning and he had a game at 3:15 or whatever, I'm like counting the minutes to just watch him play. Just because I love watching him compete. I don't give it. And I've told this to a lot of parents who get nervous when their kid's on the mound or at the plate with the bases loaded. I said, don't be nervous for them. Like whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Like he might give up a double to the wall. He might strike a kid out. He might get a base hit. He might strike because it's going to stop. And that's when the feelings suck. Like you want them to be able to either fail or succeed and then do it again, man. Because when they don't happen anymore, that's what's going to suck next spring.
Dude, I think that's so right, man. It's like we kids and just people in general, like they need opportunities to fail or succeed. It's like I think like so much of the world we live in right now is so comfortable, and people try to avoid those situations where it's just this like all these neutral interactions and neutral things that don't have consequences. And the beauty of competing is there's consequences. There's wins and losses. There's success and failure. And it's like so much of what we do in the world right now is dictated on this fear of failure because it sucks so bad. But it's the best thing that could ever happen to you. So like to your point of like you're getting nervous, like you're nervous because you care about your kid. But at the same time, if he goes out and has the worst game of his life, he will never forget this. And when he responds from it, he's going to be so much better forever because of it. Like you can't, it doesn't get any better than just brutally failing. It's like the best thing that could ever happen to you. Because when you get through it, you're just impervious to pain and anything. You're just like, I've been here. Like, okay, I'm going to be so much better the next time. And I put myself out there to go do it. Like I didn't shy away from the moment. Like I went and I sucked and okay. And then you respond. And I just think like the more people can just put themselves in those situations, or parents can put their kids in situations to go like where it might really go poorly. I think this is the best thing in the world for how you can learn how to develop as a human. And that's all we're trying to do. That's the only reason sports are a thing. It's just the most beautiful metaphor for camaraderie and togetherness and success and failure and how you respond to what happens. Because let's just be honest, like the world it's not all like flowers and daisies every day, right? Like it doesn't go your way. It usually just doesn't go your way. And we're just trying to figure out how to hold on to those times that it does. But it's like we can't just forget about the ways that we got there by putting ourselves out there and it not going well, and like truly being proud of those moments. And I think especially when you're a kid, if your parents allow you to go do that, I think it's only going to help you have success as an adult. I think Brady's going to have, he's going to have so many life lessons that he learned from playing ball with his boys that he gets to take to whatever else he decides to do. And it's like, and they just go so hand in hand. And I think it's a clear advantage in the world.
Yeah, no, I think that's really, really well said. I know you got to go, but I got two other things I want to hit you on. One is it's not going great for Shane Bieber. Last time we spoke, you were like, I think he's going to have the best season ever for him. And then 2 days later, I wake up and his elbow's done. First of all, how is he emotionally?
He is just, he's one of the biggest role models in my life. He inspires me every day. We'll FaceTime every now and then. He decided to do a new fantasy football league with a bunch of kind of big guys too. It's a dynasty league. And so he's like, hey, you want to do this with me? He's like, so I don't like, like jump off a bridge or something. Can you help me with this? I'm like, I got you. So like, we'll be FaceTiming. Like, if I ever want to get a hold of him, this guy is only ever sweating. He's only working. Right now, he can't help himself but work. He's doing whatever the doctor has cleared him to do. He will do every bit that he is allowed to do right now. There is no feel bad for himself. He is just, it is incredible who he is as a person, the worker that he is as a player. I mean, there's a reason he is who he is. It is not God-given. It is not an accident. He made himself. And the people around him that helped, obviously, but that is a like self-made man right there. And I cannot be any more proud of that guy. What he did in Seattle to throw like that, every single pitch that he threw in the bullpen warming up for that game was excruciating pain. Tears in his eyes because of the pain in his elbow, and goes out and dominates a great lineup. Like, and everyone's like, this is the best pitcher on earth right now. And he had a torn UCL the whole time. I think he's going to come back, and he's going to, people aren't going to forget about his name for long, because he's going to come back and be, I think, better than he ever has been. He's going to have a new elbow with no miles on it. He's going to come back and throw like he was starting to this year. And I couldn't be any more proud of that guy. And he's at the top of my list when it comes to people in this world. Did you know that day that he was going to be done? Had a good idea. Tried to kind of avoid it. Like him and I are pretty close, so I feel like I've got a good read on him, and I just kind of let him be, knowing like I had an idea. Maybe I was a little bit in denial, like we'll just get through this game, and maybe we can rehab it or something. But like deep down, he doesn't have the reactions that he was having in between each inning for dominating was clear to me that he was in pretty bad pain. And it was tough to watch your boy like just suffering like that, and also knowing like it was his platform year going into free agency. Like, not many people respond the way he has to just one of the worst situations ever. And I think when we all look back at it, he's not even going to remember it, because I think he's going to just end up having one of the best careers we've seen. I mean, it's 5 weeks since it happened. I can tell you're still pretty emotional about it. Yeah, I miss the guy too, man. I mean, our clubhouse misses him. He's a leader in the clubhouse. Like, for all the young pitchers we have, you get to watch Shane Bieber work every day. You have no choice but to work hard and get better, because that's all he does. And you're like, well, if this guy's doing this, like, I'm going to go do that. And like, he leads by example. He leads with his words. He's just a great man off the field. Like, I mean, like, I can't say enough nice things about him. I love the guy, and I miss him to death in the clubhouse and on the field with us. But it's pretty cool to see what he's doing. He's back in Arizona, just working harder than anybody in the world. Wish him best. I really do. And by the way, Shane, if you want to sign a little 2-year deal back in Cleveland, where you don't pitch most of 2025, but you come back toward the end and then you tack on another year, like I'm good with it. Whatever's best for you. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're good at that. Last thing, we had the Wilson Contreras incident where JD Martinez on his backswing hit him and broke a forearm. Are you guys being instructed with the whole low strike thing? And if so, is it a major, major teaching problem in Major League Baseball? No. Well, yeah. Well, to answer your question, we're being taught to be closer, and you want to be closer, but it is scary. It's scary. I mean, I had a bad one last year where I got my mitt knocked off of my hand as I'm trying to catch the ball, and then the ball hit my throwing hand from being too close. It's scary, man. Like it's funny because like I recently just kind of made an adjustment on it. I was pretty deep. They give you like your depth. So it's like average is going to be like it's like 6 feet. I think it's maybe from home plate is how they do the distance. There's a number for it. I don't know exactly how it goes, but essentially like when I don't have a good receiving day, a lot of times it's my depth. But for me, like I'm terrified of a catcher's interference, or then I literally like I see that happen to Wilson and I'm like, I don't want to know what that feels like. That looks like the worst thing ever. And there's a technique to it that you just got to be really, really fine with. You got to be close enough, and you got to be able to press the ball, but you don't want to press the ball too far. You don't want to go reaching for the ball. You got to kind of let the ball travel. And as it's hitting your mitt is like when you press it. So it's not like going and getting it. That's kind of the only way to be close. But when it's all said and done, the difference of 2, 3, 4 inches of depth is the difference of multiple strikes called in a game. And, it's one of the biggest, impacts you can have in a game. Like just like 0-0 counts and 1-1 counts specifically, like the difference of expected batting average or expected slug in a 2-1 count versus 1-2 or 0-1 versus 1-0 is astronomical. And so like, a lot of times when we're back there catching, like we're calling a game, like we're playing the math game a lot of times. It's like, I got to figure out a way to get to an 0-2, 1-2 count because the game tells me this hitter's going to get out. Like big league hitters hit 110 in 1-2, 0-2 pitches. So it's like, I got to just get there. And then math tells me that they're going to get out. Whereas like if I fall behind, it's a 2-1 count, 2-0 count. This guy is actually expected to do damage on this baseball. And not only that, like it's a human being thing too, right? Like I'm in a 2-0 count. I'm feeling sexy. I am ready to let it eat. I'm in a 1-2 count. I'm passive. I'm protecting. I'm just trying to not strike out. And that's a bad plan. That's why hitters hit bad with 2 strikes, because most guys are afraid to strike out. It's a real thing. But so with receiving, like the team that's impacting those counts more often it has a clear advantage in that game to win that game today. So like if I got to be better than that other team's catcher, like those are the things I got to do, and I got to figure out a way to get as close as I can without getting myself hurt. But there is a real fine line, and I'm talking about like inches, just barely 1, 2, 3 inches is the difference of getting strikes or balls, and then the same thing, maybe getting a catcher's interference that could break your forearm.
So is it worth doing?
Yeah. You just have to give your nuts a tug. Be like, I got to do it. It sucks. There's so many times I call it talking to my inner bitch. And I'm like, there's times where like my inner bitch is telling me, Austin, like you're soft. You don't want to be here. You don't want this. And I have to be like, not today. Not today, inner bitch. I'm here today. And I got to do it anyways. Even though I'm scared, like I got to like talk shit to myself. And it's the only way to do it. Because otherwise that little bitch inside you is going to win.
Well, you won. Show me that ring again. Yeah, you won. You won. Does that go home with mom and dad?
Yeah, I send it home with mom and dad.
That's awesome.
If I try and carry this thing around, it's going to end up in who knows where, on the black market somewhere.
I have a few ideas where it might end up, but I don't want to share those right now. Okay. That's nice. Well, congratulations. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. And I appreciate you taking some time because I know your parents are in town. So tell them hello for me first and foremost, and tell them I appreciate them giving, us a little bit of your time. So thank you.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Always, always. For our amazing producer, Robbie Scirocco, and the world champion, who I'm just going to throw it out there in the universe, might up being a back-to-back World Series champion. Who the hell knows? We're going to party like it's 1948 in Cleveland. That would be Austin Hedges, who talks to the inner bitch inside of him, apparently. I am Chris Rose. We'll see you next time here on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media.